Hola, beautiful soul. Welcome. It's Jody from Live Beyond the Illusion, and we're going to dive in and talk a little bit about left brain, right brain. I've got one of my dogs at my feet. So welcome. So why is left brain and right brain not talked about, but not considered? Because we need both. One isn't better than the other, but we've become a really left brain dominant society. Left brain is linear, logical, analytical, language focused, organizing, planning, practical, sees everything as separate. The right brain is more creative, more artistic, more emotional, more intuitive. They see everything as interconnected, can see the bigger picture, more on the flow, and spiritually open. So really, in order to navigate this reality, we need both. But we're very left brain dominant. There was a study done back in the 80s. NASA, and I can't remember the guy's name. I guess I should have looked it up. If I find it, I'll link it in here. They did kids at 2, 3, at 10, and at 15. Their creativity through the indoctrination camps called school was down 95% by the time they hit 15. At 2 or 3, it was like 95% creative, 97%. So the school system gets us into lines and gets us into rows of desks, and we have to learn these things, and some of that's good, but it really squashes one's individuality, intuitiveness, creativity. I mean, I don't even know if they offer art in school anymore. So, and it's not all about just art. It is being that balance. It's being in the body as well. So ways to evoke it, especially if you're older than 50, because let's face it, we mostly have been left brain dominant most of our. Write out a business plan. What are your goals? What do you want to achieve? Like plan and organize, and how many steps is it going to take, and blah, 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 blah. We don't live in the flow then. We don't live in spontaneity. So and our imagination, the right brain, is the key to connecting with the one, the divine, God, creator, source, however, because it doesn't understand words. All this praying, it understands emotion because it's a frequency, images, and when you use the word like I am, it's a powerful statement. But the right brain, you want to spend time in your imagination. It's always there. It never expires, but we're usually using it against ourselves. We use it to worry, fear, have regret, things like that. So to evoke more of a right brain, you want to dance, you want to play, you want to get silly. You could doodle, if you're right-handed, doodle with your left hand. Get creative, like even artistically, whether that's in the kitchen, doing art, because it puts you into more of a flow. Instead of like, when I go into the kitchen, I never follow recipes. I always am creative. And I used to do a recipe blog, and people would say, yeah, but how much? How much? Like when it came to herbs or salt or lemon juice. And it's like, use it to your taste, because it depends on how fresh they are, how, like different. So this step by step takes out a lot of our intuitive nudges. When we get quiet and we just sit and we listen to ourselves, we're tapping into more of that. But if you want to start creating a life aligned with your truth, your desires, your dreams, you got to give it to yourself first. You got to use your imagination, and we're always using it, just in the wrong way. So start using it for yourself. Start getting playful. Start getting creative, like silly. Like when remember when I had kids, when my kids were little, my son, for about 2 years, at least a year, but probably 2 years, would put on his Batman costume or Spider-Man. And when he was in costume, he was the real deal. He didn't care what anybody else thought. He didn't care if he was doing it right. He didn't care because in his mind's eye, he was that figure. And I mean, you can do that in your own house, maybe close the curtains, but it's also what you do internally, because nobody else has access to that except you, your higher self, which is your connection to the one, which is the one. And you want to use it because the 3D reality is who you were being yesterday, which is probably the same as who you were being last week, last month, last year. If you're over 50, probably the last 40, 50 years. Break pattern. Start becoming aware. Start breaking pattern and being creative in your mind's eye, because you cannot have something until you give it to yourself first by using this. And we're really good at giving ourselves fear, anxiety, doubt, worst case scenarios. We used to tease my mom, you start at death and work backwards. Let's start at life and move forward, because life is created by me, for me, through me, not to me. So you start giving it to yourself first. You start becoming aware of what you are thinking, and you break pattern, and you go into your imagination. What would it feel like if I was really living my dreams? What would it feel like if I was doing X, Y, Z? What would it feel like? What would it look like? And you play with it in your mind's eye. That's your imagination. It's powerful, and yet it's so easily discredited here. So our left side helps us be grounded here on earth, order, survival. If it's too rigid, if we're too much in our left brain, we become too rigid. We become disconnected. We lose our inner wisdom and guidance. We're looking for facts and figures. We're usually trapped in ego and trapped in fear. So the right brain, if we're too much in our right brain, we're ungrounded. We're impractical. We're unable to bring dreams into reality. So we need both. Both serve as purpose and both bring us balance. And then there's the bridge in between, right? So both are good to use at different times. But our imagination is our superpower. It is the greatest connection to the greater part of us. We can go in there and give ourselves anything. We can play, we can be anything, we can have anything, because it's tapped into infinite possibilities. So another way is when you're breaking pattern, becoming aware of how you are thinking, you can start affirming. I'm creative, I'm imaginative. I always use my imagination. I always use it for me. My imagination is my superpower. You can go into YouTube, and I think I might do some videos where affirmation videos for you guys, especially over 50, because sometimes we've been doing it for so long, the pattern's harder to break, but it also doesn't have to be. That could be a belief. No, I break pattern really easy and consistently. My imagination is wild, it's creative, it's powerful. I use it every day, all the time. You can use guided meditations, guided visualizations. You can just go create art for the sake of creating art and not give a shit about what anybody thinks, because no one's going to see it, right? You're getting into the flow, you're being creative, you're just tapping into a part of you that's been untapped for a while. But it doesn't have to be hard, it doesn't have to take time. Go in and give it to yourself first. Evoke your imagination. Know you're creative. Know you've got imaginative powers. That one of the things I like to say is, I'm a queen living her dream. Every day I radiate, I glow because I live in the flow. And that is part of your being intuitively guided. And sometimes it won't make sense because this stuff doesn't make sense. It's not logical to our so-called mind, brain. And you need a balance of both. So here's an example. You go to work, or say you go to work. You always take the same way, whether you walk, get on the streetcar, the bus, drive, take a different route, walk a different way, go into a different coffee shop, take a different bus, drive a different way. And the more you start interrupting patterns like that, your intuition, you're going to tap into your intuition more. You're going to be driving down a new street and all of a sudden you'll go, turn left. Yeah, but no, I need to go right or straight, right, whatever. Don't argue, just go left. Okay, and maybe nothing will happen, but you're starting to listen. So it's going to say, oh, you're paying attention. Good, okay. And maybe you'll go down and turn left and you'll see a new store you've never seen, and a new coffee shop that's got your favorite coffee, or a store that you've been looking for something, or more parking that you couldn't see before because it's only an extra block from work, or, you know, it could be something simple like that. Or you may just, say, be walking down the street, not driving, and you'll bump into somebody that all of a sudden opened your awareness, your world, to different possibilities. That's what it's about. It doesn't have to be this big aha, but it's those little steps that when you look back a month, 6 months, a year later, and you go, holy cow, oh my God. So, left brain is great, but it's linear, logical, organizing, sees everything as separate. Right brain is creative, intuitive, imaginative, sees everything as interconnected. You need both. It's not too late after 50. It's not ever too late, because you may have been one way for a longer time, but it doesn't mean you can't revert it, change it, re-evoke it. And if you decide it's going to be quick and easy, it'll be quick and easy. If you decide it's going to be hard and why it's not worth it, it'll be hard and not worth it. See, you decide on everything. So go out, have some fun, get silly, get playful, start listening, sit for 20 minutes, 10 minutes every day, and just no devices, and just breathe nice and slow and just listen. We are too tapped into the 3D, and we need to come back to me. I'm a poet and didn't know it. See, have fun. So I hope that helps. Thank you for being here. I look forward to the next video. Have a super fantastic day. And if you're not, create one. Decide it is your best day and assume it to be true. Thank you.